Welcome back to my Dark Souls guide. This is the second episode, and today we will explore Firelink Shrine and the lower Undead Burg. So first up, I accidentally already picked this up earlier, but there is an item here that you should pick up. It was 3 humanities. And before we do the rest, I'd like to say something about this guy here. His name is, actually I forget, it's Crestfallen Warrior or Crestfallen Knight or something like that. And as you can see, he's one of the few things in this game, or few people in this game, you will see that doesn't attack you. So if you see someone or something that doesn't attack you, don't attack them. They're NPCs, and he's here to talk to you. This guy in particular has the role of sort of telling you what to do. Dark Souls won't give you your quests in a straightforward manner, but if you get stuck, you should talk to this guy and he will have some idea of where to go. You should always exhaust the dialogue of whoever you meet, because for some of the characters, their questline won't move forward until they've said everything that they can at that point. So keep talking to them until they just say the same line over and over again. In this guy's case, it's something like this.
I'm not up for chatting.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Alright. You can go down here. Let's explore this area first. Obviously, you can look around. Some of these areas we will visit later. Down here, not so much. Over yonder, definitely where we're about to go. And here is a lady who can't talk, but she's a firekeeper, and you see this option here, reinforce Estus Flask. Remember that, it's important for later. And sort of on a related note, she's the reason of why the bonfire up there is in a state where you get 10 Estus instead of 5 when you sit there. There's an option to go down further. Here. Let's do that first. I'm doing this actually because this is not where we're gonna go. Took me a long while to actually discover this when playing myself at first. I didn't see it. And here's an elevator. Note for elevators in the future, if the elevator isn't here, you would just plummet to your death into the shaft. But you can get it up by pulling the lever that's here. So let's go down. This is an area of the game where you're not gonna go until quite a bit later, but there is an NPC here and some items to pick up before we go further. So, hello. Not gonna spoil anything about what or where this is. Important Dark Souls learning, always check behind corners. There's a lot of items that are essentially hidden, just like the one we saw here. There's a lot of undead standing around here, but you don't have to fight them. They're just sad. Over here is a door that is locked. If you pick the master key, you can open it. I strongly suggest, unless you know what you're doing, that you don't, because the area you will go to is quite dangerous. Now here, oops, I missed it, excuse me. Here, go over here and around the corner. Watch out that you don't go too far, but there's a guy in here. This is Rickard of Winham, and he is a blacksmith. And a vendor. So talk to him until you get this menu, and there you can see several options. First, you can purchase items from him, which is, you can purchase sorceries and a sorcerer's catalyst from him. This is really good to know for characters that start as a sorcerer, because you can get another soul arrow. So this is the spell that you start with, just for more casts. Or you can get a heavy soul arrow, which is a stronger version of the soul arrow. Pretty good. For other characters, you can obviously buy a catalyst and a spell, so you can also cast sorceries, but I don't really see the point for that at the beginning. You can repair equipment. So as you can see, my equipment has taken some damage from bashing it. In a little bit in the Undead Burg, we'll get an item that lets us do this at the bonfire. But you can also repair your items at the blacksmith. You can reinforce your weapon and armor. So if you give him a material called Titanite shards, you will see in the upper right corner how many souls and shards it will cost. You can improve your weapons, which will make them stronger. You can see on the left side, short sword. On the right side, it says short sword +1. And it says instead of 78 damage, it will do 85. You'll get even more information. You will get even more information if you click the toggle display button, where you will see, does it improve the scaling at the bottom? Sometimes it does. In this case, no, but just because you upgrade it, you will get slightly more damage from both your strength stat and your physical damage. You can do the same to armor. So armor is upgradable in this game. And both are actually much stronger than a single level up. So when in doubt, I recommend upgrading your equipment. Modify equipment, that's for later. I won't go into that. And you can also talk to him some more, although he doesn't actually have anything more to say. So that's it for now. Just remember that he's here. It's gonna be relevant later. Also, on the corner here is a corpse that you should pillage. It gives you an S-stock. That's actually a pretty good weapon in my opinion. As you can see, I don't yet have the required dexterity to wield it, so I wouldn't be able to use it effectively, but if I did, this would be a pretty neat weapon just based on its movement. Let's see if I can show it. Yeah, so it does a stabby thing. Alright, now let's go back up. We've done everything that we wanted to do down here. Now for the upstairs part. There's a couple of places we can go here. The first one is, whoopsie, here, which is progress, so we're not going there yet. But we can go up here as well. And first we take the rightmost path in here, which lets us pick up an item. Fireball. Neat. Okay. Oops. Wrong way. Next up here, there's another dude. This dude is a bit of a dick to us. His name is Petrus.
Hello there.
He tells us to stay away, so we just talk to him again.
I realize, but I also want you to hear. No.
He regrets doing that, and now we can actually talk to him. He invites us to join his covenant, which we should do. And now we can do a couple of things. We can enter covenant, which we already did, so this would do nothing. We can learn a gesture, which we super should do. A shrug. Neat. We can buy things from him. He sells miracles and talismans to cast the miracles with. Miracles, I already mentioned this, are support spells. So you can heal, you can... this is a different kind of heal. This is teleport back to bonfire. Force just... it doesn't do damage, it just pushes enemy away from you. And this reveals a couple of hidden things. But if you know where they are, you don't need this, actually. I'm not going to do any of that for now, but I'm going to talk to him a little more. He's then going to tell you that if you give him some souls, he'll tell you interesting things. I'm not going to do that either.
I'm afraid that may be difficult.
Yeah. Petrus is not a nice guy. Be wary of him, I can tell you that much. Now up here, there is a soul to be picked up, and then here there is darkness, but this is a safe drop. Not very far, see, and you should take it because there's a couple of chests with nice items to be picked up here. So Let's have a look. Homeward Bone. Those are items that teleport you back to the bonfire you last rested at. A Morning Star and a Talisman. You would have totally wasted souls if you just bought one from Petrus. A cracked red eye orb. That is an item that you need for PvP invasions. To invade other players. And Lloyd's Talisman. Lloyd's Talismans you can throw at a PvP invader and they won't be able to use their Estus. You can equip your newfound Morning Star if you like. Here, let me compare. Yeah, it does more damage. Personally, I'm not a huge fan just because it's so slow. Like, look at this. Let's take a swing or two. 1, 2, and that's the R1. That's the fastest it gets. This is the R2. So if that's okay with you, then go ahead and use it. I'm not a fan, but this weapon does something that weapons we found before doesn't do, which you can see down here. It has an auxiliary effect. It has bleed, so if you hit enemies with it enough times, you will do a big amount of bleed damage to them. There are enemies in the game that are really susceptible to this. Personally, I don't like using the Morning Star for that though, because katanas will do the same thing and are just so much better in my opinion. Okay, now we will drop down here, and as you can see, these skelly men will assemble. Run for your life. You cannot deal with them yet. You can kill one, but it's gonna reassemble over and over again. So run back here, this away, and sit at the bonfire to make them go away. Now, go back where we just came from. Here. And actually explore this area. Whoop. Up there, you will see the crow that brought you here. Nice birdie. You'll see back here an open chest. This has a purpose, actually. I've never had to use it myself, but I believe if your game crashes or something, just as you're picking up like a game, like a plot relevant item or something, and you somehow lose it, you should be able to find it in here, I think. Going back out here, we have several spots we can go to. One is upstairs. Let's do that, because as you can see, there's an item that we still haven't picked up. You can get that around here. Around the corner. It's a soul. Neat. And now, whoops. Now it is time to do what players sometimes like to call a YOLO run. Which is to say, we don't have many souls, so only do that if you don't have many souls and you're not currently human. So make sure that the zeros at the top left of your screen are currently zeros and that they're gray. Because we're gonna die and we're not gonna pick up the souls that we leave here. So, whoops. Pick up all of the items and just run. Run, run, run. Like, don't stop for anything. Roll through things if you can. These aren't the most important ones. There are 2 items that I want you to get. Just run through here if you can. One is all the way over here. It's the binoculars. The others, and now this is gonna get fun. Woo! Another one is here, the Zweihander. Oh no. See? Now we can have a look at these items in peace though. The binoculars. Let's put them on. They're reusable items, so we can put them here. Where are they? Here we go. It says used to peer at the distant scenery. So let's use this item. Used with the same button that you use the Estus with. Just gotta select it. And now we can look around. Pretty neat, huh? This can be useful for when you want to cast a spell in a certain direction, or also for firing things, or just, you know, looking at the scenery to take nice pictures or something. The other item we just picked up is the Zweihander, which is a really popular weapon, possibly undeservedly popular. We can't wield it yet because we need a whopping 24 strength for it. However, once you can carry it, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Let me see if I can wield it with both hands. No, I can't even wield it with both hands. But it's pretty neat looking. It's huge. Zweihander is German for two-hander. So that's the name of the game with this. But it is a pretty good, pretty heavy weapon, and it will pancake enemies pretty quickly. So this is a very popular thing to go for, because it's just a really easy way to get a pretty powerful weapon. For now we can't use it though, so let's go back to the hand axe. Better. There are other items up there, so let's do another run and see. We missed a shield and we missed another weapon, actually, at the very least. So let's go back. I think I missed a shield anyway. I don't remember picking it up. So let's take this path down here. Stay to the... Whoopsie! Oh no, I fell off. Okay. Stay to the very left here, but try not to fall off. There's a place here you can go. I'm just gonna show you that you can go here, and then I'm gonna tell you to turn around. This is a classic, like, a lot of beginners are like, oh no, I accidentally went here, and then I got stuck and I can't get out again. That can happen to you if you venture too far into this area. Just because it's accessible in the beginning doesn't mean you should go there. Back up. And here's my souls from earlier. There's no point in picking them up. It's the item. Where is the other item I was looking for? I know I'm missing something. Ah, up here. The winged spear. Alright, let's leave it at that for now. The winged spear we just found we also can't use because we don't have the dexterity. But, as you can see, this is a spear-type weapon, and it scales much better with dexterity than strength. So if that's what you want to go for, probably okay choice for the beginning as well. But it does need quite a bit of strength too, so you probably can't wield it yet anyway. Enough of this nonsense, though. Let's go where we actually should be going, right? So, for starters, I'm gonna put on this really shitty shield. Just so I have something. Oops. And I'm gonna wear my Pyromancy Flame. Okay. Where do you actually go? This is the way up here. Up here we go. And there's one skelly man. There's actually another skelly man, an armored one that I can see in the background. There's this guy up the stairs and more. So we gotta be careful advancing here. This is a thing you need to learn pretty early on in Dark Souls. Don't just run in, don't pull too many people, just advance carefully. I can tell you right now, as soon as you go up there, this guy on the stairs will be triggered and will also come towards you. So you're gonna fight this guy here. But keep in mind that if you advance too far, see, he's gonna come running. So one at a time and carefully. These guys are just beginner enemies, but they can still mess you up pretty bad. However, they're slow, so just watch what they do. Let them do their thing, let them do their combo, and while they're doing that, just walk behind them, backstab them, for example. I know it's a super, super cool idea to walk back there and fight this guy, right now, but don't do it because it's a bit of a trap. See this guy up there? He has fire bombs and he's gonna throw them down there. So instead of going back there for now, let's walk up here. See, he's already starting with the bullshit. Now, there's another guy to the left. So if you walk up there and start hitting this guy now, you're probably gonna get stabbed in the back by this dude here hiding. Oof. Whom you can trigger, so he's gonna come running now. And let's take care of this guy first. Look at him. Bang. Let him do an attack. Stagger himself with the attack. And now let's deal with Mr. Firebomb. So, it takes him a while to throw them, wait for the flames to go away, and then run in. Whoopsie. And this is what you shouldn't do. Up the stairs. Deal with this guy. Can already hear the other guy who dropped down here. I like dealing with the first guy with a backstab simply because if I do misjudge when and where this guy will come, I'm immune while he comes. Ooh, he dropped another short sword for me. Up the stairs we go again. Here's my souls. Trigger Mr. Axeman. You're probably gonna run this place a fair bit, so it's good to develop a routine and do things in this order every time you do. Okay. Wait for him to throw his firebomb. Oh no! There's another guy up the stairs who's gonna come if you come too close to him. I don't like fighting them on the stairs, so I like kiting them down here where it's safe to fight them. Always wait for an attack, stab backwards so it doesn't hit you, then go in and punish. Okay, now we can go down here. This guy, he's armored and he has a better shield, so you gotta be a bit careful with him. Let him do a stab. Okay, and he's gonna turtle behind his shield for quite a bit. Stab. Okay. Don't be greedy, one hit is enough. Oh no, he's Estusing. That's right. Enemies can use Estus too sometimes. Number one rule, we punish that. While they're Estusing, it takes them the same length that it takes us. They're not going to be able to defend themselves, block, or anything. So when an enemy Estuses, you hit them. Let's get this Soul of a Lost Undead. Over there you can see an item. You can go there by jumping across here and then just really carefully walking along this ledge over there, and then you have to come back and jump back. It's not worth it. It's not a good item or anything, so I just skip that. Now it is time to proceed up the stairs here. I'm gonna pick up this item over here. Soul of a Lost Undead. Personally, I can't deal with heights in video games, so don't look down too much. To your right is the path forward. To your left is a rat. A filthy, disgusting rat. They're not hard to kill, and this one actually will run away from you, but don't let them bite you because they will apply poison. And that sucks. Here we find another soul. If we run straight forward, at the end of this corridor, there will be a door. And we can't go there yet. But over on the left side here is a way out. And now, whoop, we're in the lower Undead Burg. And we are immediately greeted by more of these Skellymen. That gives you so much opportunity to practice. Just these guys, the axe guys, most of the time they're going to attack you by just jumping at you And they do massive damage when they do that, so sidestep that. Trigger it? Aha, okay. He's not playing along. But these guys are actually really slow. You can so easily just walk around them and just hit them in the back. We can already see down there is a place we're gonna go. There's items there, and there is a ladder here, but we can't go there yet. But we can see that there are... I don't know if you see, but on the side of that building, there's like... Woo! Oopsie. Do as I say, not as I do. Always be aware of your surrounding, guys. Okay, let's go back. So as you can see, there's guys hanging from the side there. 4 of them specifically. Remember that when we get back down there. Over here. The guy that just came up is usually standing here, and this is a bit of a trap because there's a guy in there who's also gonna come out. I guess I took too much sweet time talking to you because normally the guy that came running at me here is standing here and throwing fire bombs, so be aware of that. Whoops. Can't go up there, but at some point later I'm definitely going to be able to, as you can see, because there's a player message up there. For now, there's another fog door. More often than not, fog doors in this game means boss fight, but sometimes the game just wants to mess with you and give you a fog door to make you feel stressed. This is one of the latter category. There's no boss in here. There is, however, an item around the corner here. Pick that up. And up the stairs we go. Can see through here, but actually this isn't the way. I don't know if it's possible to, in a super finicky, talented way, make this jump, but if you're not super talented, don't even try. There is a different way to get there later. For now, the way we want to go is up here. And the first time you go there, but only the first time something happens. Whoop! A drake. This is not a dragon. This is a drake. It's called the Hellkite drake. It flies there, and then it flies away again. Up there somewhere. Remember that. And now, we can already see there's several scaly men that want to fight us. And if you have trouble with this area, kite them in here and just fight them one at a time. Let them do their swing, step out of it, and retaliate. Now this guy up there, he has a crossbow, and he's annoying. He has pretty far reach, but this is where you should learn about using the environment, because if I stand here, I can see him, he can't see me. So if I want to fight the guys that are standing there, without being hit by a crossbow bolt, all I gotta do is stand where I'm standing right now. So if you have trouble with this, and I really struggled with that at first, to be honest, stand in a spot where he can't see you. Whoop. See, also, as a side note, all of these bolts are actually pretty easy to walk out from, to walk away from. So you just, if you walk in the left to right motion, whoops, he's not gonna hit you. Now, in here is a door you can open, and around the corner is a shield. It's not a very good shield. I'm not gonna switch shields for now because there's no point. And then we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna be like, stop doing that. Cool. And now in here is the next bonfire. Let's light that. And sit down. So you can see I have 1,000 souls. I could probably get a level up, but I don't want to. There's a stair up here, but it ends. You're not gonna get very far, but do you see this ladder? We're gonna be able to kick that down later, so keep this in mind. For now, Whoopsie. All of the enemies have respawned, so let's deal with them again. No. No, Mr. Shooty Bolt. Okay. Why am I going back the way I came from? Because there is a path I haven't taken. And it's a very important path, and it's the reason why I'm not spending my souls. So, you're actually going to a spot where you need a couple of souls, and in fact, normally by now when I play the game, I don't even level up after the first boss, after the Asylum Demon. I just save up all of my souls. For a super beginner, I wouldn't recommend it because every level up that you do is helpful. Now these boys here, they have a shield and they have a spear, and they're annoying because they just spend all of their time behind their shield, and wow, do you not do any damage to them, right? That's because they're here to teach you something. So these turtle boys, you can either punish them after they do that, but you have to be really quick, or you can learn to kick. I showed you this in the previous video, but I'm gonna show you again. So, when an enemy is turtling like that, and I just kind of want to separate them a little bit so the other one doesn't punish me for doing this now. And I want to come to a spot where I have a good camera angle, so whoopsie, come on. Come on up. You're not gonna come up, are you? Okay, fine. When an enemy is turtling like this... Oops. Oof. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, so either we can do the punish. And this is a good demonstration of how immunity works in such a cutscene. If he's turtling like this, we're gonna kick away shield by pressing the left stick forward and clicking the R1 button at the same time. Kick and R1 again. Follow it up and just chain your attacks. Nice. This is something that they're here to teach you, so if you struggle with it, I suggest you just do this run back to the bonfire and practice on them until you feel confident and you're getting it right. Because A, it can't hurt to practice, and B, you're gonna need souls anyway. If you smash these crates down here, you'll be able to walk. Whoopsie. Be careful, around the corner behind this bookshelf is a dude. So, don't forget about him. And now around this corner is a dude as well, but this is an NPC, so don't hit them. This is a vendor. I know he looks ugly, but let's talk to him.
Well, now, you seem...
This guy sells some really important items, so do not kill him until you have all of them. First up, let's look at the key items. There is the repair box, which is really important and really easy to forget. It costs 3,000 souls, so I can't afford that just now. But this will let me repair my weapons and armor at a bonfire. Do not forget to buy this. It's so annoying when you do and you don't realize until you're all the way to Honor Londo. The bottomless box is what allows you to store items at... The bottomless box is what allows you to store items when you are at a bonfire, if you just want to declutter your inventory a little bit. And the residence key opens a door in the Undead Burg. And I'm not 100% sure right now, but I'm pretty sure that this is a door that the master key doesn't open. So I think this is always worth getting. You can buy repair powder, which is a usable item to repair things that you have equipped if a weapon, for example, breaks while in fight. Don't think this is super important. For PvE, you can buy some firebombs, and you can buy an orange guide soapstone. And this is what you use to write messages in the game, so I'm definitely getting one of those. You can buy some weapon and armor here as well. There's one particular thing I'd like to draw your attention to, and that is at the very bottom of this list. The heater shield is a nice little shield that has 100% physical damage reduction. So if you, like me, picked a class that doesn't start with a shield like that, I strongly suggest you pick it up. So currently I have 2,000 souls, which means that I will pick a heater shield. Whoops. And I will get the bottomless box. That's not something you want to miss. I now have to farm 4,000 souls so I can buy the residence key and the repair box. There's a couple of other things here too, so you can buy some better armor. This chain armor is very likely better than what you started with. I think there's one class that starts with this. So if you are having trouble in the early game taking too much damage, you might want to consider buying this as well, but I suggest strongly that you keep this for last. You can buy arrows and bolts for ranged weapons. You can buy a short bow here that you can shoot the arrows with. I don't think that's worth doing right now because we're about to find a crossbow soon enough. And you can buy fire bombs and throwing knife here. Not super worth it at the moment. But the other two items are definitely worth it. So let's continue exploring instead. Let's go over here. And this is the spot. Whoops. This is a spot where you have to be careful and again pull things one at a time. So don't walk too far in there. Try to pull these guys single file because there's 4 of them. Boop. They don't have a lot of health and they don't do a lot of damage, but if they do get a hit in on you, they can stagger you quite badly. I just realized something. And that's... I bought the heater shield, but I didn't put it on. Look, it's so much better. It's just straight up better in every regard than my previous shield. It weighs a bit more, but that's fine. And up we go. Wish you could speed up going up a ladder. Ooh. Ooh, this is something you don't see every day. This is a sign for a Gravelord servant. If you look down here, this is where we came in a bit earlier. So this is the guy that throws the fire bombs. That away lies Firelink Shrine, essentially. And I said, there's this place over there that we can't get to yet. Well, hooray, we are here. And that makes me realize I haven't really covered how to jump in this game yet. And as a matter of fact, let me just check what setting I have. So jumping is something, the prerequisite for doing it is that you're running. So you can only jump while you're already running. So forward while pressing B. And then when you want to jump, you have to press another button. But there's 2 options for that, and I want to make sure what the one that I'm using is. So key settings. Jump is click on the left stick. Okay, so there's 2 options here. You can either, and I think this is the default setting, have run set to B. So that means while you're running, so walking forward and pressing B at the same time, let go of the B button and press it again real quick. That means you jump. I think that's clunky. So I instead have it set to pressing down my left stick. That is the mechanic, I believe, from Dark Souls 2 and 3. I like it better. So here we go. Run forward and jump. Made it. Nice. So now I'm up here. I can walk out there. There is absolutely nothing that way, but there is an item over here. And that's the light crossbow and some crossbow bolts. So that's nice. Oops. Let me go back down here now. There should be someone in here. Hello? Ah, there you are. Whoopsie. That was not well done. Okay. Where are you? Ah, here he is. Skillful. Oof. See? Heater shield. Heater shield is your friend. Okay, those guys up there are dead. This guy here, though. And now we're going to explore another place we haven't been to. So we're gonna go down a little bit. We could drop down here, but personally I recommend dropping here because that lets you, oops, pick up another item down here. Okay. Keep in mind that, do you see these guys? Actually, I can show off how the crossbow works. Let me do that real quick. Let's see if I can actually use it. You need to manually equip the bolts you found over here. And now when I two-hand... Oops, that's not what I meant to do. So, whoops. Can I? No. Can't really aim with this, that's the problem. So if I could select him, I could aim. Let's see if I can shoot this off. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh, I didn't know that guy was here. This is a problem. Whew. Okay. Let's do the crossbow thing some other time when I'm not standing in a spot like this. I don't know where that guy came from, but that was unpleasant. Alright, let's go down here and just deal with these guys. Oof. Just by killing them real quick. Is there someone over here? Nope. Is there someone in here? Is an item from this guy hanging out the window, and up there is unfortunately nothing. So back down here we go. Nothing missed here. And onward. So in here, this is a place we saw from above earlier. So this is the spot where there's 4 dudes just hanging off a ledge. And I suspect one of them just saw me and came at me from behind. So maybe there's only 3 left. But for now, let's just knock these guys off, which we can do before they decide to come up here. Which is pretty cool. Nope. I don't know where that guy came from earlier, but it wasn't this. Alright. And we pick up some rubbish. Rubbish is actually something that has one particular use in the game, but we will not find that out until quite a bit later. And now let's pick up this last item over here, which is just a humanity. And that was the entire area up to here. So what remains to be done now is to advance onward to the next boss and farm enough souls to afford all of the items that you haven't bought from the undead merchant yet. Okay, so I've been farming the souls that I need to buy the last remaining item from the merchant here. And because I've been killing enemies in an area where the boss is still alive, I occasionally get soft humanity. So as you can see, the counter in the top left corner currently says 2. And one thing that I wanted to show you that does is it increases my item discovery. So the base for this is 100, but the first soft humanity you have raises it to 150, I believe. And the second one then adds another 8. So you're more likely for enemies to drop things for you if you have a little bit of soft humanity, which is just good to know, I think, for farming purposes, especially later in the game when you will be farming humanity drops from enemies. Because we're gonna need a lot of them. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm gonna use my 3,000 souls here
Still think I've never had.
to buy the repair box. I'm not gonna buy the residence key. If you've bought everything else and you're absolutely sure you're not gonna buy any armor for him, and you know that you're not gonna need to buy any arrows or fire bombs, any of these items that he offers from him, then you can kill this guy and you will drop the residence key. It'll save you 1,000 souls, and that's what I'm about to do because he has something else that I want to show you that I really like. Hello, and bonk.
Gone mad, have you?
Yes, I have gone mad.
You lousy rat.
Look at that
Julia!
neat little weapon
Julia!
that he has there.
Why me, little Julia?
Okay, I get the residence key, I get the dried finger because I haven't bought that either. I get a humanity, and I get the Uchi Katana. I love the Uchi. Now, I said I wasn't gonna go for a dexterity build with this here. And this is very much a dexterity weapon, so it has B scaling with dexterity. It's such a great weapon. I love the Uchi, but for this playthrough, since I will demonstrate how to get through the game as a beginner, and a tried and tested strategy for people who are struggling with something is to put on the biggest suit of armor they can find, the biggest weapon they can find, and just donk the enemies in the face with it. This is going to be a pure strength build. But if you are that way inclined and you do want to go for a dexterity build, which is more focused on taking smaller but more controlled hits at enemies, dashing in and out of danger, then the Uchi is a fantastic weapon. I love it. It has a great move set. It applies, let me open this up here real quick. So it is a katana, which means that it applies bleeding, which is actually useful for a certain set of bosses in the game. So Uchi, very much my favorite weapon in the game, actually. Now, I'm gonna use my soft humanity here to do something I've talked about but not demonstrated, and that is I'm gonna kindle this bonfire so that instead of going to 5 Estus, as you see, that's what happens when I rest here right now, so that it will go to 10. So first I have to reverse hollowing, and that costs 1 humanity. And then I am going to kindle this bonfire here. And now I have 10 Estus flask. That's really good because the next thing that we're gonna go for is the second part of the Undead Burg and the boss fight at the end of it. And we're also going to use this bonfire to deal with a very, very challenging enemy. It's a mini boss, I guess. That's very close from here. He's there to teach you something. I know new players struggle with him a lot. His name is Havel the Rock. He drops a really good ring, so I suggest people try to go for him anyway, and I will show you how to do that soon. But be aware that he is a teacher, and he's gonna kick your butt until you learn the lesson that he will teach you. So tune in next time when we will cover how to traverse the rest of the Undead Burg and the area's boss fight.